Welcome back to the Pickle of the Week. Thank you all again for tuning in yet again. My name is Derek McClure, and I'm your host yet again. This week, we're actually going to be taking you to Elwood Shack here in just a bit. But for now, to do a little recap of last week. An absolute beautiful week as it turned out to be. I enjoyed the weekend, at least Saturday, from 2 o'clock until the wee hours of the morning downtown, as well as bouncing around town as well. But found our way at Purple Haze to retire for the evening, and you'll notice through the video here thus far I might have been rushing the flip-flops and shorts, but a beautiful day nonetheless. For those of you that made a chance to make it out to the Polar Bear Plunge out on Mud Island, that was an absolute incredible experience from what I've been told. And then secondly, earlier in the week, you might have noticed or heard in the news that the University of Memphis has signed one of their best recruiting classes to the day. Definitely the best recruiting class we've had under the name of Coach Fuente. Now, the reason coming to you from the Liberty Bowl today is just that. We're excited not only for the football season we just finished with, but we're even more excited about the football season to come. Today, I'm actually here at the spot that my parents put on every year, and since Tiger Lane has been developed, and an absolute wonderful addition to the Liberty Bowl. I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, well, I'd like to have an on-campus stadium. Well, with the advancements and things that they've done out here have actually made it to be quite an enjoyable experience. And with the Tigers doing as well as they are, 60,000 may not be too far off the path for this year. Now, yet again, I thank you for tuning in yet again, and I'm going to go over to Elwood Shack where I'll sit down with Tim and get you a little insight on that of all of the great things they have to offer. Welcome to the Pickle Week 2.0. I'm Derek McClure, your host, and today we're here at Elwood Shack with Tim, the owner-operator, and today we're going to be talking not only to him about his restaurant here at Elwood Shack, but we're also going to be talking about him on a personal level. Now, with that being said, Tim, thank you for doing this with us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Now, the reason I wanted to talk to you, for one, you've got an incredible restaurant here. You do breakfast, you do a lunch, you have incredible food, but more so, why you chose Memphis to start up this restaurant after being in the restaurants for so long.
To be honest, Memphis kind of chose me. I was with Landry Seafood for 10 years, and I traveled from quite a few cities, Dallas, Little Rock, Corpus Christi. Anyway, they opened a restaurant here 21 years ago, and I traveled a lot at the time, and I said, can you put me in operations so I don't have to travel? I didn't want to do it anymore after 3 years, and I ended up being here and struck up a friendship with Thomas Boggs really, really quick when I first moved here, and got some really deep roots in the city. It's been good to me. It's a great city.
Perfect. Now, if you had to pick one particular thing about Memphis, aside from the barbecue, I know brisket being the highlight for me at least of the things on the menu. The pizza, the sandwiches are great, but more so, what do you love about Memphis? Is it the barbecue? Is it the people? What exactly is it that does it for you day by day?
I love the city. I love the people. I mean, I love the food and the history of the food of Memphis as well too. But I really like my employees that work here, my staff, and just our customers. We have the best clientele in the city. I mean, it's kind of a dream restaurant. I've been in the restaurant for 37 years, and I've got the best customers I've ever had in 37 years in this little small restaurant.
Perfect. And I've seen a little bit of that too of the past couple of years by coming in, getting to talk to some of the folks around, just kind of earshot, like, hey, what is that you're having? And you know, some of the pizzas that folks would be having, like, what in the world? What all do you have on there? And it's so good in the vibe. Everyone has, you know, kind of that cheerful aspect going on, and you know, just hoping that some of that would rub off on everybody that's in Memphis, because in being in the industry myself, that was one of the things that I enjoy, is the people day by day.
Right.
Now, Valentine's Day is coming up on Saturday.
Right.
I know y'all are open. Do you have special plans?
Nothing really special, to be honest, but we're staffed up and ready for it. In my 37 years in the restaurant industry, Valentine's Day on Saturday is the busiest day of the year. It's busier than Mother's Day. It's busier than Father's Day. It's the busiest day by far. So we'll be ready for it. Excited about it.
Absolutely. Now, with that being said, if you had to pick one thing on your menu to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
For me, personally, That's a good question. Quite a few, but probably the Texas patty melt. That'd be one first, or our beef brisket. Either one or two. Those are my personal favorites. When I moved here from Texas 21 years ago, there is no brisket that I was used to eating here in the city, and that's why we're proud to serve it. That's what I grew up eating and how it's supposed to be served.
Absolutely. And talking about the beef brisket, we a few weeks ago had talked about different places around town, not to throw anyone under the bus, but there's no one out there that does it. It's almost like it has a tough, a recooked, and you cook your product daily, cut and cook daily, and you've got a couple of smokers. What's the cook time for your brisket? If we don't want to give away too many secrets.
I'll give you the brief overview, but every night at about 8 or 9 o'clock, we load on all of our pork shoulders and all of our beef briskets. They'll slow roast all night long, and then at 6 o'clock in the morning when we come in, we'll continue to cook the shoulders, but we'll pull our briskets off the smoker. Then we cook them for another 3 hours in Guinness Stout. It's a really unique twist. I think nobody else probably in the country even does that. I could be wrong, but I think that's one of our secrets to what we serve, and it'll make it so tender.
Absolutely. And your breakfast. I haven't had the chance to actually come in for breakfast. I call me more of a night owl. It's going to be Purple Haze and other things going on downtown. But I've heard people, one of the valets for the restaurant that I work at, that's what he was talking about was the breakfast. And you talk about having, the folks come in for that. How is the breakfast, and is it different? Is it more of a Southern style breakfast?
Oh, it's definitely a traditional Southern country breakfast. A lot of the items that we serve on the breakfast menu are stuff that I grew up eating as a child. Our taters, our biscuits. We get here at 5 a.m. every morning just to make our biscuits, and we don't use lard in our biscuits. We make our biscuits with butter, sour cream, and 7-Up, and really, really different. And we're really, really proud of them. It's a very flaky biscuit. They're really, really something different than anybody else. We call it a cat head biscuit. If you're from East Tennessee, it'll probably sound familiar to you, but basically our biscuits are as big as the size of a cat's head. I mean, they're pretty giant. All right.
Well, that's awesome. And like I say, Elwood Shack here, we're tucked away over off of Summer, next to Perkins, right next to the Lowe's. And I tell you need to come see Tim. They've got a great staff here. They've got incredible food, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. And Tim, thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Derek McClure back, and I'm coming to you now from the I Love Memphis mural here tucked away behind the Memphis Made Brewery. And reason being is Valentine's Day is just around the corner, just a few days away, and I know for those of us that have significant others, it's a day to reminisce and think about how much those people truly mean to you. And with that being said, Julie, I want to tell you I love you, and I wanted everybody to know. But this show is about how awesome Memphis is, why Memphis is awesome, and none other than, well, I love Memphis. Simply put, I think we all have a special spot in our heart for Memphis throughout all of our trials and tribulations. With that being said, I hope you've enjoyed what I've had to share with you about Elwood's, as well as getting to know Tim a little better, to put a little personal side. Coming up next week, we'll be having another guest on the show. This is the model of this show. And with that being said, I thank you, and thank you for watching the Pickle of the Week.